Mini Cooper S. The essence of undercompensating. Oh, that's no good. Say hello to the bigger sister. Second generation Mini, a car with a circuit in mind. The Mini comes with 181 horsepower at the crank, delivered through a 6-speed. Fuck it. Let's go for a drive. I'm trying to find a right way to put this. The Mini Cooper S isn't what Mini would straight up call a performance car, but it is definitely a hot hatch. It rolls off the tongue better. With the 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, putting out 181 at the crank, it's not going to win you any stoplight polls, but that wasn't exactly the point of this car. It's meant to grab the groceries and make record timing through a twisty back road before mom gets pissed because she already found a way to finish dinner with the missing ingredients. For an introduction, the Mini Cooper was the product of a fuel shortage in 1956. The need for an economy car was growing, and Sir Alec Izzy Jonas stepped up to the plate by designing the first ever Mini Cooper. That was produced by the BMC, British Motor Company. Performance versions of the Mini Cooper were created, and both had good standing in road and rally racing. The new Mini Coopers, being produced by BMW, just under the Mini name, held true to the history of the Cooper. Economical, with an average of 30 miles per gallon, but still able to put some power down. And with the base price of $20,000, it's not too bad of a buy. While the Mini Cooper S could use a bit more power, it still pulls hard. Spinning the wheels if you get too happy in first, and will continue to spin through a bit of second. The motor makes most of its power in the mid-range, 5,500 being the peak, but redlines a bit into 6,000, so if you're getting into it and happen to pass the peak, don't worry that you blew something up, as the drop in power is very noticeable. Straight line power is not where it shines. It pushes you for that perfect racing line, passing powerful cars when it can. If the next 11 miles has over 300 corners, I'd find something to hold on to. The Mini gives you unwarranted confidence. You want it to take that corner just a little bit faster, pushing the tires to their limits. You may not be able to drift a roundabout, but you're gonna hug that inner line.
Nothing turns a 17-year-old girl on more than a well-executed handbrake.
There's two modes of driving the Mini Cooper comes with, just as every other car nowadays. A sport mode. This sport mode isn't actually a placebo, as once it's pressed, the steering is tightened and the throttle sharpened. You can actually feel the car change its input style when disabling sport mode when driving. I prefer to keep the mode on, as the throttle is unresponsive and combined with a high biting clutch, it's a mess. If you're wanting more power, there's a problem. The tunability of the R56 is poor. It takes a lot to get anything worthwhile out of the Mini, and all that money, you could simply buy another car. Prices for aftermarket parts, as well as OEM, are short of astronomical. And the reliability has been questioned over the years. One major issue being a timing chain death rattle on the N14 engines, but it being mostly fixed on the N18. The engine is also rather noisy, due to the valve train and the Mini's direct injection. There's currently 2 mods installed on this car. A Miltech catless downpipe. It throws a code, but don't worry, it doesn't affect anything. The other being a forged diverter valve that replaces the plastic OEM valve thingy with a metal spring. Both these help build boost a tiny bit faster and gives the exhaust the ever much needed note when you're hard on the throttle. Once you look at a Mini Cooper, especially the interior, you can't help but think of circles. Everything fits in a way, and it works as a modern design. The airplane-esque switches adds a bit more functionality to the interior and are actually quite good quality. The cabin is a lot more roomier than one would think of. I actually drove this Mini from Alaska to Florida with all of my belongings and was still able to sleep in the back, although a bit snugly. The second generation Mini, the R56, is becoming more of a BMW than an actual Mini. Take the third generation, for example. Its interior and design has inherited that BMW stature, even the engine. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either, as it takes away from the uniqueness of the Mini brand. Good or bad, tell me what you think of the Mini Cooper. Needs more power? Too refined? Let me know in the comments.